Episode 3 of Untamed starts with a flashback of a young Lucy painting rocks with her sick mother. Her mum tries to explain the concept of death to her, but Lucy opts to hang back and finish painting the rocks when her mum heads back to the house. A few minutes later, someone familiar approaches Lucy. Back in the present, we learn that Lucy was reported missing back in 2010 when she was only 7. It was Carl's case back then, and he was sure Rory, Lucy's dad, was the one who killed her. Unfortunately, Carl couldn't prove it at the time, and Rory moved to Fresno a few years later and was attacked and beaten to death. The only lead they have now is James Cook, Lucy's stepbrother. Meanwhile, Carl asks for Teddy's phone data. On his way out of the office, he finds Jill in his car. She offers him a list of park employees that she remembers. He tells her that they ID'd Jane Doe, and the conversation turns to how Jill is still broken and unhappy. She's grieving her son and remembers little mundane things she used to do with Caleb. Carl brings up Sean's lawyer visit here, and Jill asks if there had been a new lead. Unfortunately, there hasn't. The lab report on the pills found on Lucy come back positive for a mixture of several different drugs. Carl asks Lucy to reach out to the Mariposa PD to see if they know more. On the ride to James's place, Nia tries to bring up Caleb, but Carl turns the radio up. At James's place, Carl asks Nia to wait for him outside. He goes in, but James spots him and makes a run for it. Thankfully, Nia saves Carl before James lunges at him with a metal rod. James mistakes them for loan sharks, and with this cleared up, they take him back to the apartment, where it soon becomes clear that James knows nothing about Lucy. He didn't even know she was alive. With no leads to follow, Nia and Carl try to remain helpful. On their ride back, Carl brings up Nia's reason for leaving LA, and as we suspected, it did have something to do with her ex. Carl also opens up to Nia about his childhood at a ranch, and this conversation certainly helps them to grow closer together. Upon getting to the office, they find Lawrence giving a press conference about Teddy. Carl's mood changes and he ignores Nia's request to return to the squatters' village. After the press conference, Lawrence lashes out at Kyle for always keeping information to himself. Lawrence wants Kyle transferred and has started working on it. Suter agrees that Lawrence has been patient with Kyle. Kyle pulls Suter aside and reveals that he thinks the cases are linked. He also believes that Lucy was murdered. Suter questions if they have a serial killer on their hands, but Kyle tells him it's probably not likely. He wonders if he failed Lucy 15 years ago, and on his ride back home, Kyle hallucinates Caleb once again. The following day, Kyle takes Chief and drops by Lucy's old house. The owner denies seeing Lucy around, but later tells Chief he saw a young lady at the ridge near his home. He also gives Chief Maggie's old belongings that the family left behind. Chief questions why Kyle is dedicated to the case, and Kyle remains elusive and asks about the carvings. The Chief claims that the carvings are meant to keep evil spirits away. Elsewhere, Esther gets on Jill's nerves when she drops by to ask about Sean's case. Jill keeps her cool though, but hearing about her son's death certainly triggers her. In the meantime, Nia takes Kyle's horse and heads to the forest. Shane spots her on his daily runs, and Nia heads deeper into the woods following Lucy's trail. She comes across a cave here, where she also stumbles across an oxygen mask and decides to investigate further. Unfortunately, she falls through an empty well. Back in town, Kyle gets Teddy's phone data and confronts Linson. The visit proves to be a dead end as Linson likes to mind his business. Upon getting home, Kyle notices that his horse is missing. Back in the cave, Nia tries to find her way out and gets stuck. Kyle finds her before she drowns though and convinces her to calm down and pull herself out. Thanks to Kyle, Nia makes it back home to her son, and while this is going on, Jill locks herself in the bathroom and contemplates calling Kyle. In another flashback, we see a young Lucy locking herself in her room to keep her stepdad out. Someone comes through the window though, and she sweetly greets him, which is where episode 3 comes to an end. So based on the closing scene, Lucy seems to know who her kidnapper was. Was the kidnapper trying to save Lucy from a violent hope, or is there something more sinister going on here? After her mum died, there was no one left to protect her from a violent stepdad. But if that was the case, and this is a red herring and the person who came in through the window is not the killer, what has Lucy been up to these 15 years? It was certainly a mistake for Nia to go out into the woods alone, and she pays a heavy price for it. What was she thinking? Unlike Kyle, she's not exactly familiar with the area, and her falling down the well is perhaps a cruel sense of irony here. If it weren't for Kyle's quick thinking, she could have actually died in that cave. And as a side note here, it was perhaps a little rude of Esther to stop by unannounced and pick at Jill's painful wound. A little respect for Jill's grief would have probably gone a long way here, rather than digging up unresolved trauma. But still, as we cross the halfway point in this season, everything is left on a tenuous knife edge. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.